What is up, everyone? It's Team Case Hunters back with another spicy BT17 slash EX7. This deck list still works for that too. Deck profile. I'm here with Tamil Takuya, who's gonna be showing off his amazing, spicy El Caliente Red Hybrid deck list.
Yes, sir. I'm really excited to show you guys this deck list. I don't think this will be the same kind of Ancientgreymon you've been kind of seeing from other people. Plus, not to brag a little bit, but Niagara, we did pretty well with this. You know, we didn't get top 16, but we did get 17th, which is the next best thing. So let's just get right into it, and let me show you what I've done with the deck. So first off, I am running 5 eggs. This is 4 of the BT14 Koromon, and then the 1 Yokomon. Obviously straightforward. The Koromon get to draw, Yokomon get the draw. Not much really to be said. I did consider at one point running the BT17 Digimon, because I was kind of thinking, what if I'm dealing with kind of certain floodgates? There's the Kowagamon from, I believe, BT8, where it can stop the Digivolution, or ignoring Digivolution requirements, so it could stop your warp. But I kind of realized the deck already has enough ways to pop things, and as we'll see with the deck, I have things to do with floodgates, so it wasn't really my priority, so just got rid of the Gigi, just give me more of that draw. So straightforward like that. Now, let's get into the level 3s. So to start off, we have 4 BT17 Flamemon. Obviously it's a new card for the deck, you're going to be using it. Really good search. It literally is just BT4 Flamemon with 10 warriors included, and the inheritable of BT7 Flamemon, so you gotta run 4 regardless. It's a good card to use. Next level 4 is 2 BT12 Flamemon. I was considering using BT7 Flamemon instead, because I did like to have the inheritable even if I'm not doing the search all the time. But what I do like about is the trashing a card to just get generic draw, and as you'll see in the deck, not everything is necessarily hybrid or 10 warriors, so having just generic draw is good to have. Plus the DP boost is nice to use with a certain Takuya you know and love to see, so just that inheritable is just nice to have too. So that was kind of my strategy. Now to go to my next level 3, it is going to be 2 Bokomons, my dad in the bath. Really solid search, top 5 cards, you get to have 2 things, really great. Obviously your turn, if it survives, you get the 2 memory back, so essentially you get to evo for free. It was kind of funny before BT17, I was thinking Pokemon was too slow for the meta and I was running the promo Ukos, but honestly now, since this deck is a lot more combo orientated, it really helps to find the pieces when you need them. So 2 Bokos I think is the right amount. I've seen some people do 1. I think that's okay. 3 I think is a little too much in my opinion, but I think 2 is the kind of sweet spot, so that's what I like to see. So you may be wondering, why am I running 5 eggs? Well, I'm not just running 1 Ukomon, I'm not running 2, I'm running 4 BT16 Ukomons, for the very obvious reason, it is a really solid search. You can even go rookie rush with it if you need, and kind of similar to why I run the BT12 Flamemon, a lot of the pieces aren't necessarily archetype based, or they might not be easy to find, so just straight up having a lot of rookies to run with, or if I'm up against a deck like Magmon X, or a deck that has a lot of redirects and blockers, just being able to go rookie rush when I need it is just really solid. So to be honest, my old deck list used to be just these, still the level 3s, but then on top of the Ukomon, I was running 2 BT7 Flamemon, but thanks to our good member and fellow ally Dill Pickle Roar XD of Team Case Hunters, kind of told me that maybe since a lot of my level 3s I'm not really evoing off of that often, why not just go full Ukos? And I was like, what? You're crazy, what are you talking about? And then when I went to Niagara and I just went straight Uko Rush in one game, I was like, you know what, I think he knows what he's talking about. So definitely the 4 BT16 Ukos was a good strategy, and I'm really happy with this level 3 lineup. Now let's move to the level 4s, and I will show you something very interesting. So right off the bat, we gotta go the 4 BT17 Agunimons. That's kind of straightforward. This is Ancientgreymon. You're gonna be running 4 of them to do the warp effect, and also the inheritable is just nice to have. Nothing much else to say. One of my favorite cards to honestly come out of this whole support, and you've seen me talk about in the Saucer Loss, the 4 of BT17 Burning Greymon. The warp effect is really nice. Giving Red Hybrid Raid is really good to get rid of huge bodies. And We will talking about it near the end of the video, but there's a certain deck that everyone's kind of scared about, but EX6. But you got that raid, you got that big DP, you don't need to worry about it. We'll leave that one for the end. So I'm running, this was a little bit of a spicy tech. We're running 2 BT12 Aguni and 2 BT12 Burning. And before you ask, no, I don't run it just so I can flex my alts. There actually is a good reason why I run it. I'll start with the Burning Gray first off. It has the when Digivolve gain 2 KDP. So all of your Takuyas, their effects will just be online right off the bat. Obviously, the dream combo is to just go on the memory setter and swing, and then it's basically a free swing with no memory use, essentially, unless they have a floodgate. We'll worry about that, though, later. And obviously, the DP boost is nice to have with the Takuya. And the BT12 Aguni, so what's interesting is I've seen not a whole lot of people use this card, and I kind of get why it's not really needed, but it's more because of the Aguni in name, that when I need to use Ancientgreymon and I need to have Digicross with an Agunimon, it's just nice to have more Agunimons in my deck that I can find. The Inheritable has come up a couple times, and there have been very rare, but granted very few situations where I just had the Flamon, went to the Aguni, and I was playing it like old BT12 Red Hybrid. But if I'm being honest with you, it's more just for the Aguni in name and the Inheritable, not necessarily the effect. I will say when we get the BT18 Aguni, I'm definitely going to swap those out for this. That's no doubt in my mind. But for the time being, he is still okay in the deck. Now, for my final level 4 tech, love to see him, the BT7 Burning Gray. Pretty straightforward, you just get rid of a Floodgate because you can pop something 4k or less. But one combo that's actually really good, say you're swinging with a Burning Gray, and you have to swing and you do the one attacking, you can still go onto this Burning Gray for free, because it goes onto a level 4 for 1, and if you're on the other Takuyas, that's 6k plus 2k plus 2k from the Takuya, now it is 10k. So again, your effects go online with it, so I think that's really nice, but regardless, just getting rid of Floodgate does help, so you gotta run the 1-up. So that is it for the level 4 lineup. Let me show you the level 5s, and you might be shocked to see him. BT7 Aldemon? What? Why would you run this? I feel like if you're asking me that question, you're watching the wrong video, my friend. But in case you legitimately don't know what the Aldemon does, it does do the when Digivolve gain 4 KDP, you Digivolve onto it for 1, essentially if you have a Tamer, so combo it with the BT17 Burning Gray, and you do the swing when attacking, you go into the Aldemon for free essentially as long as you have the Takuya, and now your stack is 16 KDP. Insane effect, that's really good. And obviously just straight up having ADP as an Inheritable is really nice for our friendly BT7 Takuya to tuck underneath, so that's just a solid card to have. Now I'm running a third level 5. Can you guess what it is? Yes, it is Aldemon, but it is BT17 Aldemon. Now I know you all might be thinking, I had some very harsh opinions about this card during the Saucer loss, and I still kind of hold true to it a little bit, because obviously if I'm looking at the two Aldemons, I do prefer seeing this one more. But there were, surprisingly, a couple situations where this actually came up, and this really did help me. Maybe not the warp effect necessarily, but the when Digivolve pops something 6k DP or less. So again, using the Burning Greymon, I would swing, go into the Aldemon for 3, which kind of does suck that it's for 3. But still, you get rid of something 6k DP, and if you're raiding, basically get rid of 2 bodies in 1. It did come up. I will be honest and say, depending on your playstyle, you can maybe just swap it out for another BT7 Alda. I think that's fair game. But it's not too bad to have at 1. I wouldn't count on it, but it helps when you need it. You'll never know. Now, for our level 6s, we are definitely running 4 BT17 Ancientgreymons. Not a whole lot to really say. When did you evolve? You pop a big thing, security attack +1, and then when you do the warp effect, it will die anyway. So you have the on deletion, return a hybrid, return Tamer, and then play a Tamer. Super solid card. Great to have. Now, my next level 6. Spoilers, it wasn't Ancientgreymon, it's actually BT12 Emperorgreymon. So originally I was against kind of going for a mixed deck of Ancientgreymon, Emperorgreymon. I was kind of thinking, looking at the support, why would you not just go pure Ancientgreymon? Use the old one to do a lot of huge checks in the beginning, and then you can use the new one for more cleanup and maybe recovery. But after talking to a friend of mine, he kind of convinced me that maybe doing the mix is not a bad idea. And after kind of just doing some personal testing and figuring out how I wanted to do things, I did realize this Emperor did come up quite a bit, actually. There are times where just the 1 evo cost less does help. Even if you have the Alderman, you can go into it for a cheaper cost. And of course, because I run the BT7 Takuya, that makes an excellent plan B to pop a thing and then essentially swing for game. So this is just for any of those that are buying up those BT4 Ancientgreymons for 30 bucks. You don't need them. Just get some BT12 Emperorgreymons. They're cheap, they're great, they're awesome. So I think this is the level 6 lineup to go. You could run some of the old Ancientgreymons if you really want to, because you do get a lot of checks and it is nice. But to be honest, I don't think this is necessary. I think just having these two is enough in my opinion. So putting these away. And now we'll show up the level 7. That is basically a Red Hybrid must-have. The one of Blitz on me. Literally just swing for game. Like, what else is there to say? The protection, it can come out, but like, come on, let's be real. You're swinging again with this, so gotta run the 1. Now, to talk about our Tamer lineup, first we're going to be running 4 BT12 Takuyas. Pretty straightforward, memory setter. You got to play Tamers out a lot easier in this deck, so it's nice to just have the minimum 3 memory at all times. And plus, if you have the BT12 Burning Gray, or even using the combo of BT17 Burning Gray with BT7 Alda, that will still be 2 memory for 16k, and then you're going to get that 2 memory right back. That was a free check. So you want to be seeing 4 of. He's really good for early swings to chip, and then also just keep memory for the later turns. And now we have 3 BT17 Takuyas. Now again, kind of like Alderman, I did have some harsh things to say about the Takuya, but I didn't think it was necessarily a bad card in of itself, just more that, why would you need the piercing? It would never really come up. And I'll be honest, the piercing came up quite a bit. Because I'm using the raid and I'm going to the Alderman, or even just straight up doing the full-on combo with Ancientgreymon, I can just get rid of 2 big bodies and I'm not missing out my checks. So having that piercing is really nice. Plus, of course, just straight up having the, if your opponent has a Digimon gain with memory, I think it's a really, really solid tamer effect to just gain memory. Obviously, the only thing that beats it is Mirai from BT11, where just straight up gains of memory. But let's be real, we're not going to get that. So this is probably the next best thing. Just having at least even this and the memory setter and the BT17 Takuya, you can even be at 4, maybe 5, you have more, so solid card to have. Now, my last 2 tamers is definitely the BT7 Takuya. He's more there for the Emperorgreymon, but he does help where if you want to do the more checks right off the bat, you can still do the combo with this Takuya and you're basically doing 3 checks. It's really good, but he is more for the Emperorgreymon, so it's better to keep him more for the later game. But if you're playing the kind of game where you want to be aggressive right off the bat, still good to see him at the beginning. You can still do stuff with him. So I think this ratio of Takuya is the way to go. The 4-3-2. From a lot of deck lists I've seen, that's what everybody runs regardless of going pure ancient or not. So I think that's the, I feel like, agreed upon ratios for the tamers. But let's just jump right into the options. 2 of Ancient Guardian Deity. So this one I was right about in the video. In Ancientgreymon I would run no more, no less than 2. It's a nice card to have. The Inheritable's great, and recovering your pieces is nice. But it's a card you don't need to see too often. It's more of a plan B. So straightforward, run 2. Next card is the 2-option Crimson Blaze. We may be out of the new meta, but we are in the Dragon's Castle with Emperorgreymon. So with a lot of Digimon getting played by effects, not just through partition, but through the tamers, having Crimson Blaze is nice. Plus, there are some decks that are going wide regardless, so just straight up having 2, nice to have. I see people run 1, and I get why, but I'm the kind of person where I like to see this more often in either my security or my hand, so just 2 is what I personally like, but run the amount you like. And now for the final card in the deck, my 2 of Gravity Crush. So some people run Red Memory Boost. I was almost going to run Red Memory Boost when I was doing the Pure Ancient Gray, but I think Gravity Crush is nice. Gravity Crush really did save me quite a few games during Niagara, so this is my go-to game saver, so I like that card. And yeah, this is the options I'm running for the deck, and that is everything. That is the deck list, top to bottom, eggs and all.
Well, I think that was an excellent deck profile.
Thank you.
But I have a couple questions for you. So I was just kind of curious. Do you think this deck is going to be impacted at all by EX7? Especially with good old Mother Control coming on.
Right, so the boogeyman of Mother Control that everyone's really worried about. So in my opinion, as long as you have the Burning Greymon with the raid, you have your Takuya with the piercing, and you can either go into the BT7 Aldemon or go even into the full-on Ancient Grey combo, your DP is going to be so big, at least 16k minimum, 18k maximum, that it should be no problem just getting over those huge bodies, and even if you get over them, you're still doing your tricks regardless. So in my opinion, there's not too much to worry about. I think the only thing to really worry about is either just not finding your pieces or not being able to get rid of the level 5s that they may warp into. So I think my strategy, I would say, with Mother Control is try not to give them too many bodies that they can force you to swing into to trigger their aces. Maybe let your rookies do their thing and do their searches, and then next turn just swing right with them right away. So even if they die, whatever, they can't take advantage of them. And if their rookies are dead in the trash, feel for BT7 Takuya, so nothing to lose.
All right. And one last question for you. What is your ideal starting hand for the deck?
So I think a really good starting hand that I was always liking to see at Niagara. One card I like to see is obviously the Ukomon right off the bat. It's literally just your turn 1 Uko for 1 pass, and you kind of mess up your opponent like, oh, I don't want to give too much, I don't want to give too little memory, what do I do? And then you not only move the Uko forward, if you're lucky and you got a second even in hand, put it there. So I like to see 1, maybe 2 is nice, but I wouldn't get too greedy. Regardless though, I would like to see another level 3. So at least I go the Uko and I see the flame on the back, no problem. I do like to see a Takuya in hand. A lot of times the memory setter is okay to see, but even the BT17 isn't too bad, at least so you know you're gonna gain at least enough memory to swing. The problem would be BT7 Takuya. If you really want to get aggressive at the beginning and he's your only tamer in hand, you can try keeping him, but like you really better hope you find your pieces, the problem, or find the cards you need. One major card I like seeing right off the bat is definitely the Burning Grey. Nice to see. It's, again, not only going to the combo, but if you can even find your Aldemon, whether it's BT7 or even BT17, go into it for 1 less. This is really nice to have. And I think the last spot is more of just a flex of whatever you might need at the point. If you have the Ancientgreymon, then okay, cool, now you have almost your pieces, and then Uko can find you a piece. And if you have Emperor, it's not really needed at the beginning, but again, if there's a game you want to go hyper, why not? I think it doesn't really matter for the 4th slot, to be honest, but at least if I can see an Uko, another level 3, possibly the Burning, and a Takuya, my 5th card doesn't really matter at that point. I feel like Uko and later Flamemon can help me find more pieces. But I think this would be kind of my ideal starting hand.
So not 5 tamers, got it.
Well, I mean, you could play the 5 tamers and just go Takuya, 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 pass, and then just watch your security go right away gone. But hey, you got your Takuyas out, so...
Win fast, lose fast, right?
Exactly. That's the Red Hybrid style, baby.
All right, this will be Team Case Hunter signing off with another great deck list. Tune in next time for more videos. This is Pro Ninja signing off with good old Tamil Takuya.
Later, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.